Hi, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we are going to compare a Lincoln Heritage $10,000 policy for females aged 70 to 79 years old. We're going to talk about four things today. First is, does Lincoln Heritage offer the best plan and pricing? Secondly, is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? Third is, does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? And fourth is, if you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? Our info is right here. You can reach me directly at funeralfunds.com. Here's our YouTube address, and I can be reached directly at 888-862-9456. So let's take a look at a $10,000 plan for a female. I just put Texas. That would be whatever state you live in. I've adjusted the birthday, so it's age 70, non-smoker. We just click the Get Quote button, and this is just a quoting software we use. We really enjoy it. It's very accurate. That's why we like it, and it will show us the least expensive companies and the most expensive companies. So if we scroll down just a little bit, we see that for a 70-year-old female, Trinity Life Insurance Company would only be $52.03. So this is simplified issue level coverage. Simplified issue means we can get you approved over the phone. Level means it's first day coverage, which you always want first day coverage. You don't want to get a 2-year waiting period plan. This is one of the companies we work with. Terrific company. We love them. And they've got great rates, which you will see. We'll just scroll down here and wait until we come down to Lincoln Heritage. They're going to be quite a bit down here a ways. Remember that we are at $52 here. So let's go see what Lincoln Heritage is. Keep going. We got to keep going. 52, 52, 52. Keep scrolling down. 52. All right. We're already up to $62, $10 more, and we still don't see Lincoln Heritage anywhere. Let's keep going. 52 versus, keep going. There's a lot of companies here that are better priced than Lincoln Heritage. Oh, there it is. There it is. So $52, would you rather pay $52 for $10,000, or would you rather pay $76.81? Now this is level coverage, first day coverage. That's good. We applaud that and appreciate that. We don't applaud and appreciate $76 for the same amount of coverage. So I created this spreadsheet to give you an idea how much you're overpaying when you go with a Lincoln Heritage policy. So again, non-smoker rates for female age 70, $10,000. Our lowest price was $52.03, and Lincoln Heritage here was $76.81. That is a $24.78 difference. With Lincoln Heritage, you are overpaying for $10,000 as a 70-year-old female, 32+%. Now, if we go down and we look at age 79, it'd be $97, and Lincoln Heritage is going to be $136. So if you're any of these ages in between, just look at your numbers and kind of take a look at it, how I'm explaining is versus age 70 and 79. So at age 79, you're going to overpay around 28%. So a lot of times when we run into somebody that's got a Lincoln Heritage policy, they are absolutely unaware they're paying so much more. And they will go one of two ways on it. They'll say, hey, I'd like to save money, get the same amount of coverage, but get it for less. Or they say, I'm comfortable with the premium, but I would like to get more coverage if I can. So if somebody's got a $76 policy, we can get them that for $52. They're going to save $25 a month. That's quite a savings. If you look at the 1-year savings, that's $297 you'll save in year one. And boy, that adds up over time. After 10 years, you will have saved $2,900, almost $3,000. After 15 years, you'll have saved $4,400. After 20 years, you'd have saved $5,947. Or another way to look at it, if you go with Lincoln Heritage, you're going to overpay $2,900. You're going to overpay $44. You're going to overpay $59, depending on how long you live. So we just don't encourage that. Now, let's say that you were okay with the rate that was over here, but you'd like to get more coverage. So if we went with this lower price company and we just spent this much, the $76 with them over here, instead of 10,000 here, you would now end up with $15,000 coverage. So that's a big deal to go from $10,000 to $15,000, because with inflation, prices are going up so rapidly. It's nice to get a policy that has some buffer built in, that if you don't die immediately, you can have some extra coverage. And most people would say, hey, I'd certainly like to have the extra coverage. Now, if the reason the pricing's higher, or maybe one of the reasons, is Lincoln Heritage has the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. So what they will do is they will call a few funeral homes, maybe do a couple other things for you once you pass away, so that your family doesn't have to do it. A lot of people say, hey, that would be nice, but I would ask you, after 10 years, is that $3,000 nice? Well, almost $3,000, $2,973. After 20 years, is it worth paying somebody $5,900 to make a few phone calls? So what I did is I ran some calculations here, just assuming Lincoln Heritage spent 3 hours working and just kind of taking care of things after your death. That 3 hours after 10 years, you'd be paying them an equivalent rate of $991 an hour. Think about this. Do you have a family member that's responsible, that you can say, hey, I'll just get more coverage and I can give them the money rather than give it to an insurance company? After 15 years, you're paying an equivalent of $1,486 an hour to them. And after 20 years, you're paying almost $2,000 an hour for them to make 3 calls if it takes them 3 hours. So we don't recommend it. Does it help some people? Yes. What we've come up with, which we think is an equivalent, and you can change it and modify it at any time, is we've got a free funeral and estate planning guide. And here's the URL right here. You can download that. Here's the page on our website where you can download it. It's just this planning guide, and you just click the download button, and you can just get the guide right there. Download it, print it out, and then fill it out. And boy, I tell you, there's not anything that I think we missed in it. So many people, just don't do too many funerals on an average basis, so it's easy to forget a lot of stuff. And this will make sure that things are not forgotten when you pass away, and you're not going to pay $6,000 more, or $5,000, or $3,000, or $2,000, whatever it is. And you can always update it at any time. So I think we've covered our first 2 points that we wanted to cover. Does Lincoln Heritage offer the best plan and pricing? Well, no, they don't. Is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? Boy, I don't know. You tell me. At age 79, after 10 years, you'll overpay $4,700. After 20 years, you'll overpay $9,405 on a $10,000 policy. You tell me if you think it's worth it. Let's talk about our last 2 topics. Does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? If we go to Lincoln Heritage's website, they will tell us. Let's just scroll down until we can find it. And here it says fast claims payment right here. So it says Lincoln Heritage sends the money to your beneficiary as quickly as possible. That does not mean in 24 hours, but then they come and say most claims are paid within 24 hours of a claim approval. Now, that does not say most claims are paid in 24 hours, because think about it. If grandma died last night, you're not going to get a check by tonight, right? They need a death certificate. They need forms filled out, death claim forms. Also, there's some other things, procedural things that need to happen. Our last point to cover is, if you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? Well, that's going to be, it all depends. We're very cautious about replacing policies, but if we can save you money and get you faster coverage, first day coverage versus 2-year waiting periods, anything like that, yeah, we will absolutely take a look at that and see if it makes sense here. But we do think that if you've bought a Lincoln Heritage policy in the last 1, 2, maybe even 3 years, a lot of times it's going to make sense to replace that policy, because even here 3 years later, it's $58 and you're at 76. So it's what roughly $18. That's still quite a bit. A lot of time, let's see, if Lincoln Heritage is 76, you get down to age 76 here and it's $77. And at that point, this is a little bit more, but that's 6 years later. So 5 years, 10,000 would be $71.64. If it's within $5, we typically don't recommend it. But as the numbers get bigger here, just realize though that these numbers add up over time. And we would rather see you keep your money in your own pocket rather than give that to an insurance company. So I hope that answered a lot of your questions. Again, my name is Randy at Funeral Funds. Here's our website, funeralfunds.com. You can call me directly at 888-862-9456. What I will do here, we also did some research online, potential concerns or disadvantages of a funeral consumer guardian society. These are just some things that we saw on the internet, people asking questions, did a little research. And if you want, just pause the video here and you can read each one of those. We're not going to go into those in any detail. But again, my name is Randy, and I'd love to help you with this. And just reach out. We'll be happy to help you in any way we can. Thanks. Bye-bye.